Boris Johnson has announced a raft of new measures in a bid to get COVID-19 transmission under control, with the hospitality sector bearing the brunt. The latest restrictions are aimed at slowing the spread of the virus without resorting to a national lockdown, as the government blames socialising for the surging infections. But Johnson faces a backlash from his own backbenchers, angry at his government's sweeping lockdown restrictions. Leading a Tory revolt, Sir Graham Brady, the chair of the influential 1922 Committee of Backbenchers, said, "The trouble with authoritarianism is it's profoundly inimical to civil liberties. It is also increasingly incompetent. It relies on acquiescence, and acquiescence for lockdowns, particularly national ones, is draining away." For instance, if you tell a student not to go to a pub, they'll simply congregate in rooms, even worse. Close quote. London Mayor Sadiq Khan said the capital had no choice but to see new restrictions, as without adequate testing or contact tracing in London we have to look at other measures to slow the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, Wetherspoon boss Tim Martin said any additional measures, including a rumoured 3-week mini-lockdown, would be even more devastating for his industry. And Green King Chief Executive Nick Mackenzie said London pubs were at particular risk. His company runs 2,700 hospitality businesses, and he said, "The sector is fighting for survival. We are already seeing pubs in areas where there are additional restrictions are performing less well, especially those in Scotland." New measures such as a 10 p.m. curfew will cause further damage and hit city centre pubs most, especially in London. Here's what you need to know about the new restrictions for pubs and restaurants. That's the current situation. Some of the UK's most senior scientists made some dire warnings on Monday, and the threat level was ramped up to level 4, meaning transmission is high or rising exponentially. Chief Scientific Advisor Sir Patrick Vallance warned we could be facing 50,000 new coronavirus cases a day by mid-October, and a daily death toll of 200 by mid-November, unless rapid action is taken. Closing times from Thursday evening: all pubs, bars, restaurants and other venues in England will be required to close by 10 p.m. The 10 p.m. curfew, used elsewhere in local lockdowns, will be rolled out across the country to try to prevent alcohol-fueled breaches of social distancing rules. No propping out the bar. Say goodbye to your favourite bar stool for a while from Thursday evening. All sectors of the hospitality industry will be restricted by law to table service only. Maintaining social distancing when the bar queue is 3 feet deep at last orders was always going to be a challenge. Keep washing those hands as more measures are announced. The government will still be hammering home its hands, face, space message is the most effective form of virus control. The Prime Minister is due to urge the nation to stick to social distancing, regular hand washing and wearing face coverings in a bid to avoid a second national lockdown. What happens next? The PM has 2 big meetings lined up on Tuesday to figure out how far the UK needs to go to try to get the spread of the virus under control before the colder weather hits. The Cabinet is due to meet before Mr Johnson sets out the changes to social distancing measures in a statement to Parliament. He will also chair a COBRA emergency committee including the First Ministers of Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. What does the government say? The government knows that this extra blow to hospitality, especially after so much was spent on trying to support it through the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, will be a bitter pill to swallow. A spokesman for Number 10 said, "No one underestimates the challenges the new measures will pose to many individuals and businesses. We know this won't be easy, but we must take further action to control the resurgence in cases of the virus and protect the NHS